Learn English through story. The Forbidden Door. In the quaint town of Eldridge, nestled between rolling hills and whispering forests, there stood a peculiar old house. Its once vibrant fa-tilde Section 8 had faded into a dull gray, and its windows, like weary eyes, were often clouded with dust and neglect. The townsfolk spoke in hushed tones about the house, for it was said to harbor a secret that lay behind a forbidden door. No one knew who had built the house or why it had been abandoned. It was a relic of a time long forgotten, an echo of a past that seemed to hold its breath in anticipation. The house's only inhabitant was a reclusive woman named Agnes, who was rumored to be as enigmatic as the structure itself. With her silver hair cascading down her shoulders and eyes that sparkled like emeralds, she often wandered the overgrown garden, tending to her flowers and whispering to the wind. One foggy morning, a newcomer arrived in Eldridge. Her name was Clara, a young woman in her late 20s who had left behind a bustling city life in search of tranquility. With dreams of writing a novel, she had rented a small cottage on the outskirts of town. Clara was captivated by the beauty of Eldridge, but she was equally intrigued by the old house and its mysterious occupant. As Clara settled into her new life, she couldn't shake the feeling that the house held stories waiting to be told. One evening, drawn by a magnetic pull, she found herself walking toward the old structure. The sun dipped low in the sky, casting long shadows that danced around her. She paused at the gate, which creaked ominously as she pushed it open. "Just a look," she whispered to herself, curiosity overcoming caution. She stepped into the overgrown garden, where wildflowers flourished and vines clung to crumbling stone walls. The air was thick with the scent of blooming jasmine and damp earth. As she approached the front door, it swung open as if inviting her in. Clara hesitated, glancing around to see if anyone was watching, but the street was deserted. Mustering her courage, she stepped inside. The interior was dark and musty, filled with the scent of old wood and forgotten memories. Sunlight filtered through the dust-covered windows, illuminating particles that danced like tiny fairies in the air. The entrance hall was lined with portraits of stern-looking ancestors, their eyes seeming to follow Clara as she moved. She felt a chill creep up her spine but pushed it aside, eager to explore. The walls were adorned with faded wallpaper, and the floor creaked beneath her weight, as if the house were alive and aware of her presence. Clara wandered from room to room, marveling at the remnants of the past. In the parlor, a grand piano stood silent, its keys yellowed with age. In the library, shelves sagged under the weight of dusty books, their titles obscured by layers of neglect. Yet, amidst the decay, Clara felt a strange sense of comfort, as if the house was beckoning her to uncover its secrets. As she roamed deeper into the house, she came across a heavy door at the end of a long hallway. It was unlike any other door she had encountered. It was intricately carved with strange symbols and designs that seemed to shift and shimmer in the dim light. Clara's heart raced as she traced the contours with her fingers, feeling a magnetic energy pulsating beneath her touch. "Clara!" A voice called from behind her, breaking the spell. Startled, she turned to find Agnes standing in the doorway, her expression a mix of curiosity and concern. "I didn't mean to intrude," Clara stammered, stepping away from the door. It just caught my eye. Agnes's gaze shifted to the door, and a shadow passed over her face. That door is forbidden, she said, her voice low and filled with an ancient weight. There are things behind it that are best left undisturbed. Clara felt a thrill of intrigue mixed with caution. What's behind it? She asked, unable to hide her curiosity. Agnes studied Clara for a moment, as if weighing her intentions. It's not just a door, it's a threshold to another world, a realm where desires and fears intertwine. Many have sought to open it, but few have returned unchanged. Changed how? Clara pressed, captivated by the woman's words, by the truths they discover. Agnes replied, her eyes gleaming with a wisdom born from experience. Some find enlightenment, while others are consumed by their desires. It is a door that reveals what lies within us, our deepest longings and darkest secrets. Clara's heart raced. The idea of confronting her own desires was both terrifying and exhilarating. But I'm just here to write, she said, trying to sound dismissive. I'm not looking for anything profound. Be careful, dear, Agnes warned, her voice steady yet gentle. The allure of the forbidden can be a powerful seduction. Sometimes it is best to leave things unexamined. Clara nodded, though her mind was awash with thoughts of the door and the possibilities it held. That night, she lay in bed, staring at the ceiling as the moonlight filtered through her window. Sleep eluded her, and her thoughts drifted back to the door, its carvings etched into her memory. The following days were a blur of writing and exploring the town, but Clara could not shake her fascination with the forbidden door. It haunted her dreams, whispering promises of revelation and adventure. She found herself drawn back to the old house, seeking solace in its embrace and hoping to catch another glimpse of Agnes. One evening, she returned to the estate, her heart pounding with anticipation. The sun had set, casting long shadows that danced in the flickering light of her lantern. She wandered the rooms, the atmosphere thick with mystery, until she found herself standing before the heavy door once more. This time, it felt different. The air hummed with energy, and Clara's heart raced with a mix of fear and exhilaration. She placed her hand on the doorknob, hesitating for just a moment. What if this is a mistake? She thought, but the thrill of the unknown pulled her forward. With a deep breath, Clara turned the knob and pushed the door open. It creaked ominously, revealing a darkened room beyond. She stepped inside, feeling a rush of cold air envelop her as she crossed the threshold. The door swung shut behind her with a resonant thud, plunging her into darkness. As her eyes adjusted, Clara realized she was in a vast chamber illuminated by flickering torches that lined the stone walls. The room felt alive, pulsating with an energy that was both intoxicating and disorienting. Shadows danced along the surfaces, creating shifting patterns that seemed to come alive. In the center of the room stood a pedestal, upon which rested a small, ornate box. Its surface glimmered with intricate designs similar to those on the door, and Claire felt an irresistible urge to approach it. Each step brought with it a sense of anticipation, her heart pounding in rhythm with the energy surrounding her. As she reached the pedestal, Clara lifted the lid of the box. Inside lay a collection of shimmering stones, each one radiating a unique color and energy. She reached for a deep blue stone, its surface cool against her fingertips, As she held it, visions flooded her mind, scenes of her life, her dreams, her fears. Suddenly, she was transported into a world of vibrant colors and vivid sensations. She found herself standing on the edge of a vast ocean, waves crashing against the shore. The wind tousled her hair, and she could feel the sun warming her skin. In this realm, she was free, unburdened by the constraints of her life. Her heart soared with possibilities, each wave carrying whispers of her unfulfilled desires. But as quickly as the vision came, it was replaced by a darkened alley where shadows loomed ominously. She saw herself cowering in fear, trapped by the weight of her insecurities. The contrast between the two visions left her breathless. This was the power of the forbidden door. It unveiled the duality of her existence. Clara gasped, her grip tightening around the stone as she felt the pull of both worlds. The energy surged within her, awakening long-buried desires and fears. She saw herself as both a writer, capturing the beauty of life, and as someone shackled by self-doubt, afraid to pursue her dreams. "Choose," a voice echoed around her, resonating from the walls of the chamber. "What do you seek?" "I seek clarity," Clara whispered, her voice trembling. "I want to know who I am." The room quivered, and the visions intensified. Clara was plunged into a whirlwind of memories, moments of joy, heartbreak, love, and loss. She saw the faces of those she loved and those she had let go. She felt the weight of her choices, the paths not taken, and the burdens she had carried. In the depths of her journey, Clara confronted the fear that had held her back for so long, the fear of failure, the fear of being unworthy. Tears streamed down her cheeks as she realized that she had the power to shape her own destiny. The allure of the forbidden door had revealed her truth, but it also demanded courage. With a surge of determination, Clara stepped away from the pedestal, clutching the stone tightly in her hand. "I choose to embrace my truth," she declared, her voice steady. "I will not let fear dictate my life any longer." In that moment, the energy in the room shifted. The shadows receded, replaced by a warm light that enveloped her like a comforting embrace. Clara felt an overwhelming sense of relief wash over her, as if the burdens of the past had been lifted. Suddenly, the chamber began to tremble, the walls pulsing with a radiant energy. Clara realized she was no longer just a visitor, she had become part of the very fabric of this place. The door she had entered was not merely a barrier but a portal to self-discovery. As the light enveloped her, Clara felt herself being drawn back through the door, her heart racing with exhilaration. She emerged into the old house, breathless and transformed. The air was thick with a sense of possibility, and she knew she had crossed into a new chapter of her life. Agnes stood in the hallway, her expression a mixture of concern and relief. "You ventured beyond," she said softly, her eyes searching Clara's. "What did you find?" "I found myself," Clara replied, her voice strong and filled with conviction. "I faced my fears and embraced my truth. The forbidden door revealed the depth of my desires and the strength I never knew I had." A smile broke across Agnes's face, a glimmer of pride shining in her eyes. "You have been touched by the magic of this place, dear. The journey doesn't end here, it is only the beginning." Clara felt a wave of gratitude wash over her as she realized the significance of her experience. The forbidden door had opened her eyes to the world of possibilities that lay ahead. She could now pursue her writing with a renewed sense of purpose, unafraid of failure or judgment. Over the following weeks, Clara transformed her life. She poured her heart into her writing, drawing inspiration from the vibrant tapestry of her experiences. The old house became her sanctuary, a place where she could immerse herself in creativity and self-exploration. She invited Agnes to share her stories, and together they delved into the rich history of the house and the town. Clara found solace in the shared narratives, weaving them into her own work and giving voice to the forgotten tales that lingered in the shadows. As the seasons changed, Clara organized gatherings in the old house, inviting the townsfolk to share their stories, just as Agnes had once done. The walls that had once held secrets now echoed with laughter and connection. The forbidden door had become a symbol of courage, a reminder that embracing one's truth could lead to profound transformation. Months passed, and Clara's writing flourished. She completed her novel, a tale inspired by her journey through the forbidden door and the lessons learned along the way. It was a story of self-discovery, woven with threads of desire, fear, and ultimately, empowerment. When the book was published, Clara held her breath as she awaited the response. The townsfolk embraced her work with open arms, celebrating the richness of their shared histories and the beauty of vulnerability. Clara's story resonated with many, inspiring others to confront their fears and embrace their truths. In the heart of Eldridge, the old house stood as a testament to transformation and connection. It had become a hub of creativity, where the past and present intertwined in a tapestry of stories. Clara continued to host gatherings, fostering a sense of community that celebrated the power of sharing and understanding. And yet, even amidst the joy, Clara remained aware of the lessons learned behind the forbidden door. She knew that the journey of self-discovery was ongoing, a continuous dance between desire and fear. The allure of the unknown would always beckon, but she now possessed the tools to navigate its depths with courage. One evening, as Clara stood on the balcony of the old house, overlooking the twinkling lights of Eldridge, she felt a profound sense of gratitude. The memories of her journey flooded her mind. Each step, each challenge, each revelation had shaped her into the woman she had become. In that moment, she understood the true essence of the forbidden door. It was not merely a passage to another realm, it was a metaphor for the choices we make, the fears we confront, and the truths we embrace. Clara smiled, knowing that she had taken the leap, crossing into a life filled with possibility. As she closed her eyes, a gentle breeze rustled through the trees, carrying with it the whispers of the past and the promise of the future. The forbidden door had opened her heart and mind, allowing her to forge her path. With a heart full of hope and a spirit ignited by purpose, Clara stood at the threshold of her life, ready to embrace whatever lay ahead. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you enjoyed, then please like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.